Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. Today with Suchada and me only. So we are talking about a very hot topic about losing face. And you might not be completely sure about that because here in Asia, losing face is a very, very important topic. And in the Western world, we have the same topic too, but it looks a bit different. This is more or less being accepted and respected by others. So in the Western world, it maybe happens a little bit on a more subtle level, but still the topic is more or less the same. So Suchada has collected a few questions, and now let's see what we can find out about that.
Okay, the first question, how can we be independent or how can we be self-confident about to not lose face?
You know, only somebody who has a higher consciousness level can be confident not to lose the face. And I just want to share my desktop quickly again and go into this consciousness level.
Okay, I can see it now.
You see it? Okay, very good. So you can also see, like, when we look at the consciousness level, where is actually the level where we still have a problem with losing face or not losing face. It is very easy for everybody to lose face when you are still connected with pride and social status. Because the moment when social status and pride is still a very important part of your life, you will always be afraid, and this is still the fear-based parts here, that you are losing face and that you are not fitting in. The next step, like we have courage, bravery, standing up, and this is the standing up here, is that is the moment when you don't have to worry about anymore about losing face. So generally you can say it has something to do with the consciousness level, with your own personal courage to do something and not worry about what other people think about you.
I think the main problem is that we always worry how others will criticize, or
Yes.
kind of sometimes we feel like others might look down on us.
That's happening. Yes, I know. And I know from very personal experience.
Yeah, then how can we be free from that feeling?
You have to raise your consciousness level. There is absolutely no other way to get there. Because remember, that is fear.
Can you guide us how to practice? What kind of practice that we can, might try practice this every day.
Yeah.
So we have the consciousness up.
From the questions that are here, what I'm seeing is, okay, the question was here, how can we train our mind to be more firm and stable? So, the mind is always connected with polarity, yin and yang. And when you are still in those consciousness level, that is duality where you judge. And where everything fear is involved, you are still in a consciousness level of duality and not polarity, where you just accept the two poles as a necessity to live. Because we need the positive and negative together. That gives the energy, like electricity, that is the energy. And even we are, in a way, we are energetic beings. And our whole body is connected to this energy. So you can train your mind. You can train your mind for anything. But that does not mean that you'll be successful. This is like, again, it's like a mask. Now, you talk about losing face. Losing face is like you have a mask for every situation that you face. a mask that is accepted by the society, by the family, by the workers, by the co-workers, by the friends. So every time you go there, you put on that mask to please them, to not get into trouble. So you can train, this is training of the mind. You can train your mind to have these different masks, and the moment automatically when the training is really good, like that muscle that works, you know, then the moment a friend comes into your room or whatever, you behave like the programmed friend. When workers are coming into your room and into your surrounding, you have the mask coming up, workers, and whatever it is a program, but it is not you. So you ask also, the question came in, what can we do not to lose face in public? Nothing.
I think I can divide into like more details, because we are more afraid to lose face with those we are close to more than, you know, like
Friends,
other
family,
other
workers.
So I think maybe we need a proof from them that we are good enough.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why you even put on the mask, because you want to please others, to have approval. But that shows that you have not enough self-esteem to stand up for yourself. And when I say yourself, I mean your capital self, your higher self, your spiritual self, because most things that are happening in the mundane world are just connected to that success. Now, we have to come here and talk a little bit about education. You are, and here in Asia, I see it everywhere. Like my friend has a nephew, and he is now 2.5 years old or whatever, and he already goes in pre-kindergarten. Some people even bring their babies already. And you know, from the moment they have exact special guidelines in all those preschool, kindergarten, school, whatever, what they have to do with the kids. And this is nothing else than to program them. So to what do they program us? To work for them.
Yeah.
They don't want you to have a life for you. So they give you in the education the impression and the goal that if you have money, if you have a car, you have a TV, all this status symbols, they make you happy. This is the brainwash, this is the program. So when school was invented, that was, you know, kind of all that behind that, we have this Rockefeller, Rothschild background. So when the school was invented, it was very clearly to create masses of workers. So you have to behave to become, and the better you behave, the more you follow the rules, the higher you can climb. So we can say that if somebody is just on the market selling vegetables or whatever, the lowest level, more or less, or gardener, whatever, but they have the most freedom. The more you are in the system, the less freedom you have. The more you have to run. You know that, like, oh, I need to keep that job because I need to pay my bills. I need to pay the car every month, and whatever it is, you know, all this status symbols. So I have to. And you're constantly under stress. Now, for example, if you suddenly decide, for whatever reason, that you don't want to do that anymore, and you have, just as a sample again, you have a car that you have on leasing and you have to pay every month, you cannot pay anymore, you lose your car. And for many people, is that at the same time lose your face.
Yes.
So everything what is connected to this kind of education is connected with having no freedom, really. See, they tell us we have freedom of choice. Okay, you can decide if you want to read rice or pasta for dinner or for lunch, huh? But that's not really a choice, or that has nothing to do with freedom. So you can decide within that very narrow frame that you are given within your brain training to choose. But these choices again, sorry, have nothing to do with freedom. And at one point, when you want to have more freedom and more become yourself, there comes one point where you lose your face and you have no choice, no other choice. You will lose your face in the sight of those who are still inside of that frame when you have to step out. When I was around 30 plus, something like that, I had a friend. I was in Switzerland still. And she said to me, and I said it to you first in German, and then I translated, ist der Ruf erst ruiniert, lebt es sich ganz ungeniert. You see, that's a rhyme. So that means once your reputation is gone, you can live free and do whatever you want.
So one word just popped up in my head, embarrassing.
Yes.
We are fear to embarrass ourselves. And if we embarrass ourselves once, then yeah, it's freedom.
Yes, exactly. Because once you step out of this frame, all those, remember we talked many times about that, all those who are still in that consciousness level, and we can look at that again. It is very clearly, comes very clear here. The moment the pride, the social status, the competing, the show off, and also that certain stubbornness that I cannot do this and cannot do that because I have to, this and that, including blaming others for their own failures and problems. Then there comes the revengeful. There is also the jealousy here. I think I haven't written that now. And vengeful, unforgiving. The moment you leave this level or this kind of segment of people and move forward into courage, bravery, standing up for yourself, hope, facing life, including your fears and challenging, accepting life and situation, you come actually here into the positive realm and move out of fear-based consciousness. And that is exactly the point where you leave the others. Now, there are some people who might come with you to a higher consciousness level, but most of them will be there. But you know what? The good thing, what I have experienced at that time, I suddenly had new friends. I met new people that I didn't know even before. I had suddenly offers and things like, you have a complete different energy, frequency. It's like the radio. You tune the radio to another station, you hear something different. And you are being seen in those realms or in this segment of the same people. So the stepping out, you will absolutely lose your face from all those who remain below. But you step up into a new segment, we can say, and all these people there, they have already the experience of having lost face and they don't care anymore.
Wow. So just let's lose our face.
You can say so, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And there's also like the other question you sent me here is from a spiritual standpoint. What is the perspective regarding this topic? Those still having worries about losing face, they are not on a spiritual journey.
I think they're kind of still holding on to something that was illusion.
Yes.
And they don't brave enough to let that go.
Yes.
But they don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because they cannot imagine a life beyond that. Because now, see, that's training the brain, and that what is our society, the school in our society, the whole education does very successfully. That people have false value in their lives instead of understanding that I am a spiritual being having a human experience. And this life, what is all about, it is about experience and nothing else. But if you hold yourself back all the time and you follow all those false values that are supposed to make you happy, like whatever, the car or the status symbols, whatever it is, that does not make you happy. You know yourself. As long as we are striving for something, we are busy. Okay, I want to buy this house. So I save up money, I do this. Finally, I'm at a point I have that house. And then you fall in a hole. Every time you reach a goal, you fall afterwards into a hole because that goal does not give you the happiness you have expected. And then immediately, of course, what are we doing? Oh, okay, I just need this too, then I'll be happy. So you go on like you have the house now, and maybe you want a more expensive house, or then you want a more expensive car, or whatever it is, you know, you go for something else to keep you busy, your mind, you know, that going round, and you just strive for something else, but it will never, ever give you happiness.
Yes, because
Satisfaction.
they always follow what they see in the media. Yeah, I can see I can understand more now. Yeah, because those would still, you know, swimming in the pool.
Yes.
And they never like look up.
Yes.
No one taught them how to look up. They have to realize themselves.
That reminds me, I just had seen a picture, very beautiful picture. There was a bowl of water with a, you know, a little fish tank standing, and there is the big sea, and you see a fish jumping out, and this is dogma, this is the earth. And now for the kind of low consciousness and the fish jumping out of the bowl into the sea. And this is exactly what you have to do. You have, see, nobody's gonna liberate you. Nobody's giving you freedom. You have to claim it. You have to take it yourself.
Yes.
And this is why nothing what you learn can help you really. The moment you turn inward and you are moving on into that energy of creativity, then you start to really understand what it is, what makes you happy, what do you want, not what others want you to do. You find your own talents, you find your uniqueness. Then you are free to do something and to sustain your life. I did too. I quit my job. I did everything, throw everything away, but you know, I'm still here. And even if I, like from the physical point of view, I don't have much money, but I have created here my paradise. It's very beautiful, and you should see it right now. It's gorgeous. So even if I don't have a lot of money in the bank or whatever, it is like, you know, it's a very good comparison. Let me say like this, you know, usually for the hot water, there are two options. You have this big boiler and you put in water and you heat it up, and you have the storage from the boiler. Or then is this other thing, this little thing that you put right into the shower, and cold water coming goes to a spiral, come out at the same time. So you get only hot water if you put in cold water. This is the difference. So people who are still on storage, They always have to hold on, hold on, hold on. The moment you let go, the moment you leave, something is leaving you, you're creative, you're creating something, automatically water comes in. You don't need to hold a lot of other stuff. That means you don't need a lot of brainwash to have this and this and this and this and this. That is just heavy baggage that you carry along. And then you become much more free, because it takes time, Suchada. It is in the moment when you step out, and there's still fears.
Yes.
And I still have sometimes fears today.
Mhm.
And I think that will never leave us as long as we are in this physical body as human beings. It's just part of our journey. But, and I think even the fear is very important, that every time when there comes fear, it is a challenge to be courageous. And that is the life journey that brings you forward.
Mm. So from what you just told us, I think we have to share all these through books, every belief that we have.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we still need to pursue our daily job, daily life. At the
Yeah,
same
but you
time,
change your daily job, your daily life. You are not anymore working on this segment that is still in fear. At one point, when you really move into your personal creativity, your divine self, you step out of this segment, you also will have some physical, really physical changes in your life. And that is something that also needs courage.
mm, mhm.
From going out from a paycheck, and then suddenly, okay, I start to create something on my own. And I think it's very good in a moment, like for many people, is to kind of shifting forth and back, that you maybe still work part-time, but you start already on the other side to build up something for yourself. And then at one point you just, okay, cut it. Then you have more capacity for the new.
Mm.
And you know what? It's like, help yourself so God will help you. I don't like the saying so much, but it is really true. Once you step up and you claim your authority, your sovereignty, then you will get all the help that you need.
Mm.
But you have to make the step first. And you always, first, it feels like jumping into cold water because you're not knowing where you're going. You know, I think I don't know if I would have ever had the courage to move to Thailand if I would have known what happened. It was so difficult in the beginning.
Yes, yeah. Mm.
But it was important. It was, when I look back at what I said, it's a journey, it's an experience.
Mm.
I could have stayed back in Switzerland, I could have had a decent life, whatever, but I would not have been able to really be myself. And that's one reason why I left. And what was one of the first thing, I lost here everything. I lost my money, I lost my house, I lost everything. I remember I flew to Singapore with my last 500 baht I had. I had nothing else left. And I needed that courage to go there and work. And I came home with plenty enough that I could sustain myself for another few months. But I couldn't stand there. I never had an income just by itself. I had to go. It's like I had to let that water run. And every time I let it out, something new came on top. And I was invited to India. I was invited here and there to teach. And that became my way for many years. So the moment you let go, the moment you are ready to risk your security, safety, whatever you want to call it, for true life and experience, it's like everything open up for you and said, hey, welcome here in this new realm, and you don't need all that bullshit anymore. Take it away from you so you're free. Of course, when you're in the situation in the beginning, you're just horrified. My God, what happened now, you know? But there is always a way forward.
Yes.
And then it comes to the point, see, then you come to the point when you're really on a spiritual path that you start to trust. That you start to trust your intuition, that you trust your divine self, that on that level you connect with those people you need to be connected, and that you will always have enough in life and you always be sustained. And that is the moment when you're really, truly on a spiritual journey. So you have enough talents, you can make that step. That's not even a question. But many people who are too much brainwashed, it takes a lot more time till they are at the point they can jump off that norm wagon.
I think they need to collect courage.
Yes.
Experience by experience.
Yeah.
They have the pushing forward.
Yes, exactly.
You know, like, okay, one last time, just lose face and, you know, be free.
Yeah. At one point, when you lose face so much, you don't worry anymore.
Yeah.
Because you know that you cannot walk in anybody else's shoe. And they do not have your experience.
Yeah. And their comment is actually just a drop of a water.
Yes.
Actually, other people criticism is, you know, nothing. No.
Yeah. Nothing anymore. So
no
see,
meaning.
It's very easy. You can see that people who still worry
Yes.
about the face, losing their face or whatever, they're not even on a spiritual journey yet. And then it's better to let them go.
Yes.
Don't let yourself or anybody being held back and pulled down again.
I think because majority care so much about their social status.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's still like that. That the majority of people are still completely in the gray zone on the consciousness level.
So once we, you know, shift our consciousness up from, you know, no fear to lose face anymore, then we can start the spiritual journey.
Yes, a truly spiritual journey. But don't think you will never fear it anymore. Fear is something that is a challenge for you. Every time you go a step higher, something will come up. Oh my God. And then this is your challenge to move beyond. Fear is a teacher.
Okay. Yes.
We can say in the lower consciousness level, fear is your slave master that keep you in the shackles.
Yeah.
When you move into courage, fear becomes your teacher and your challenge. Yeah. And every time you overcome a fear, every time you move on, you become stronger. And then you can go step by step forward, upwards. Then it's like a ladder or a stair going up, 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 up.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Yes, exactly. Don't try to jump. No, it's not working.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. This is very useful.
Yes, I think especially here, but again, in the West, it's the same. You have to lose your face in a way. You have to lose your reputation and move out of that frame of behavior, of obey, of following. Get out of there. The moment you're out, you will, on a new platform, you will meet new people. You will meet those who help you forward. You will not be alone. In the contrary, You are much more alone in a lower consciousness level because you fight each other constantly. You're jealous of this competition, blah, blah, blah. You're much more alone. The moment you go up higher, then these friends that you have there, the people that you meet, that is real friendship and not just pretension.
Well, something just came up. I think for those lower consciousness still, the relationship is all about benefits.
Yes.
Mm.
And how can I profit? And how can I be better than the other, you know, and all these competition games, you know?
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you see it everywhere, even in sports, you know, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
In an enlightened society, people also play sports, but in a different way.
Just enjoy the fun.
Exactly. And support each other, not fight against each other.
Yes.
Well, okay. So I really hope that this helps, and this helps everybody, that you really understand that we can get out of there. And the more you step out of these rules and of these fears, the more happy your life becomes, the more you be creative, the more adventure life becomes. Okay, so thank you for the questions. I think they were really good. And if you like the video, for those who watch it, please like it and share it. And we'll have another video next week. Thank you very much. See you again. Bye-bye.